come to an understanding, let's call it, of how the universe works, and it is so simple. Okay, it's so simple. It's. I mean, Einstein understood it at some point. He realized it. He's like, for every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction in this relative universe, which explains my suffering, which explains all suffering, really, and the fact that in this immoral relative universe, the only way to be moral is to suffer because of the equal and opposite reaction of suffering. And that if you suffer, you will cause an equal and opposite reaction in this universe, which is to prevent something else, your relative opposite, in most cases, from suffering. Like, no matter what position I take in this world, if I suffer, the opposing position will not suffer. You see, it's the opposite reaction. But if I want to suffer and take that position, my opposition will not want me to suffer because they will not want to experience the effects of that, which is to not suffer. Because I want to suffer, you see, my opposition will not want me to suffer. You see? Based on that understanding of that Einstein told us about with the law that states that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Okay? Which is why my mom likes to oppose me and make me suffer. Because she does it in a way that I do not willingly want to suffer, so that she can willingly experience joy or lack of suffering. You see? That explains that too. So I have some understanding now. So I should probably take up some form of weightlifting, because I will get stronger, I will become more healthy, and through the process of willingly suffering. You see? If I if I am determined to suffer, that is the only way to get my demons, my enemies, my opponents, no matter what I do in this reality, the only way to get them to not want to enjoy my suffering is to do it willingly. It's so weird. It's like, am I going to die soon because of my newfound understanding of this reality and how it works? No, is it time for me to go? Have I suffered enough yet? Or should I just try to suffer to the end so that I will at least be remembered well. I will be remembered, if not go on to another life or existence beyond this one, beyond this relative reality, relative universe, where where it wouldn't be relative, and that this law of, I have to suffer to be a good person wouldn't be. It wouldn't be a thing. But I'm concerned that this place of where suffering isn't necessary would be made possible by the suffering in this universe, in this reality. It's such a weird concept, and it's so basic. What should I do, you think? I better start exercising willingly, because I really hate doing it. I should really try to do it. I think I should endure suffering as long as I can, but do it willingly this time. Really, not because I want to suffer forever, but because I should, as long as I'm alive, and just so I don't suffer unwillingly, or so I don't suffer eternally, perhaps. Which makes me think of how morally superior people in hell are. It's like they're suffering for the sake of heaven, whether they do it willingly or not. They make heaven possible, if there is a heaven, and hell. They each make each other possible, right? Because people are burning in hell, suffering, whether they do it willingly or not, for the sake of those in heaven, whether they want to or not. And the people in heaven, they're just like, I don't even know if they're aware of the way this works. They're just the majority. The majority. In the terms of religion, and theology. In the context of that. So, man, how am I going to get myself to want to suffer after all the unwilling suffering I've endured? It's like, how do I trick myself into wanting to do it? I mean, I need to. I want to. I want to. Simply for this, so that my opposite will not want me to suffer, because they will not want to experience the benefits of my suffering if I do it willingly, So, it's like a big circle almost. It's like this, wow. I hope somebody watches this. I think it could benefit everyone, this idea and what it means to be in this reality. I mean, take for instance, people who say, do good things so that if you do good things for other people willingly, what about the equal and opposite reaction of that? You're causing something bad to happen. If you feel good for doing something good for someone else, and someone's going to feel bad, because of how this reality works. And I think that, if there is a devil, he wants you to do good things so that he can want to do bad things. Isn't that weird? So what you got to do, the only way to make this a little better is to willingly suffer, especially if you're suffering unwillingly, is to do it willingly. That will make what's causing you to suffer not want you to suffer, because they will not want to experience the opposite reaction of that because you want to. See? If you want to suffer, then they will not want to not suffer.